Okay, we're back.
Woohoo!
Let's go.
Let's
Woohoo!
go. Could anyone give me a recap of what happened last time?
I think I can.
No,
I'll
let's
try.
do it.
I have Bonnie's notes open.
Hey, those are perfect. That's what they're for.
Anyways, so last session we were going to the monastery, and we find out that the monastery is in complete rambles. It's on fire. People are dead on the floor. And then we see eventually, like when we decide to get in, we see two people, and one of them is Master Piyu, who is is it sorry, yeah, he stop. I'm trying my best.
You got this.
Master Pigu is who happens to be Key's master when he was in the monastery. He and another figure who's masked, they were like they were talking to each other, and eventually the masked figure stabs him, and Master Pigu sadly dies. And that kind of like leads to the party fighting this masked figure, who was very much like not answering any questions that we were having, because obviously this is Key's family, so we wanted answers. And after a lot of fighting and saying a lot of cryptic stuff to the party, the masked figure eventually gets their mask knocked off, and we realize that they were a monkey folk like Key. And that kind of like leads to Key asking a lot of questions, in which they didn't really answer much, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Except kind of like, yeah, except for the name Kenya, in which was her name, the name of the monkey folk that we were fighting. And we realized that Kenya has like scars, and she seems like someone that went through a lot during her life. And eventually, after a lot of fighting, Kenya manages to escape. Even though the party asked a lot of questions towards her, she dodges those and leaves. And the party realized that the monastery is about to fall on top of them. And eventually, after like a lot of struggling, we managed to go to was it a lake? Or like a water stream of sorts. We go there to escape, but the stream was too hard, and it took us to a cave? No, that's not the word. Yeah, it takes us to like a cave sort of
Valley.
It's like an underwater cavern cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cavern. In there, after like a lot of like tussle, and the party was okay, they managed to escape safely, but they ended up in there, and they come across this ruined sort of place that had like pillars and a huge entrance of sorts. And in the pillars there were like actually drawings or carvings, more like, of it seemed like it was related to monkey folk history. And so then after a little, I don't recall if we rested or not. I think we didn't, but
We did not.
So Key was like very excited because he found like this like embedded rocks or gems. The word gems on
Yeah, gems.
on the entryway, and he was like, "Oh, this is perfect for the two girls in the party, Cordelia and Noelle." And he took one off and gave it to Noelle. And as soon as that happens, Ken and Cordelia, who were like crossing the gate, they got trapped in some sort of like contraption or mystic doing. We are not very sure what it was.
You all gathered. It seemed that this gate tunnel connected to different spaces, depending on if that gem was in there or not.
Yeah. So after a lot of like struggling from both sides, like from like the side that Cordelia and Ken were in, and the side where the rest of the party was at, where they just realized that, oh my goodness, where is everyone, right? They realized that the missing gem must have been something related to what just happened. So they put the gem back, and everything went back to normal. Cordelia and Ken were back in the same space that they were in before. And when that happens, I think they hear something, or they hear some noises. So they just decided for the safety that they should continue towards the tunnel and where the gateway was. And yeah, that's I think.
Yeah, and
that's
so
where we ended.
The pounding around you, the rumbling through the rock that built over time as it got closer and closer, you guys decided to go turn and run down the tunnel away because you were not in a fit state to fight whatever might be coming. Thank you, very well. Take inspiration, Cordelia, for that, as well as
I'll mark it.
Thank you.
for writing the notes, Bonnie, that helped out. Take inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you.
Marked on your sheet.
So much inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also finished my assignment so I can focus.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Finish within the time.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right. Now, before we hop back into it, I made a couple of quick updates. Right now, you can actually hover over your macros, and they will tell you the information about them. I finally did the tooltips, so
Oh, nice.
you can at least read stuff before you click it, but you can still click it to test it. That's completely fine too. If you have any questions, let me know, but stuff should be a bit more clear now. Other than that, you guys are actually not here where you are. You guys are inside the tunnel, so I'll move you there for now. And as you're walking through, you see it gets darker and darker as little bits of light that were filtering in through where the water led into a chamber is completely diluted out. What are you guys doing?
Ash, can you let me in again?
Oh, yes.
Thanks, sorry, I've been having computer issues.
No worries. Should be good. Check if you can move your token. Okay, good.
so nobody saw the terrible beast, right?
One person did it.
One person did, and then didn't say anything.
Yes.
I don't forget.
Guilty.
I don't remember who saw it.
That was me.
We're not
Okay.
resting yet, are we?
Well,
But we should.
I mean,
How far are you
Ken
rushing?
wanted to sleep
away?
in this old chamber.
Like, we went as far as we can until, like, we thought it was safe, and then
With
I think
light
we
or
decided
without light?
before. I don't know. I have dark vision. I don't care.
Well, we
I
have my
probably would've started a light.
bioluminescency, and we also have Noelle's headlamp.
All right, so
Yeah.
those with a bit of light in the front led you guys down as you followed through. You guys, I'll say, ran for at least 10 minutes to make sure you were in the clear before you come to a stop, catch your breath a bit, and start discussing what to do next.
Well, if we find a place that looks nice, I think we should catch our breath. We've just been through a nasty fight. It's best to face the unknown while we're prepared.
I do agree. We can
I agree
try
too.
to set up camp here if it is fine. Does it look like, if I look around, does it look like somewhere are there any like alcoves of any kind, or is it just like a straight tunnel? I might have asked this
Give me
before,
a
but
perception check, and no, we'll go through everything as well. What you can see without a perception check is this is a straight tunnel. It seems like work stone surrounds you on the walls, but it seems the floor especially has gone back to becoming eroded. There are streams of water that are actually flowing past your feet at certain areas. Well, some places are dry, so you try to avoid the water. It seems...
How wide is it?
It's about 20 feet wide, the passageway.
Oh, so it's like wide. Okay.
Yes. And it's a tunnel, and it just goes into darkness, as far as the eye can see for now. There are work zones to your side, so there's not that many alcoves. Give me a perception check to try and find one. Perception or investigation, your choice.
I have higher intelligence.
Let's go with that.
I will do that. Yeah.
Ash,
Oh wait,
can you
I
let me?
made a mistake.
Oh,
That's
yes.
fine. Does my hold on? Let me find my sheet because I can't like X out of the if I like misclick. But let me see if an investigation is the same as. No, I'm actually proficient. Never mind. Okay, disregard that. I'm gonna try that again. No, I did not. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna make a random throw. Skill. Int investigation.
Yep.
Normal. 6.
Okay. Well, with the 6 you have some trouble, but we will say since you have multiple rolls, you had advantage because everyone else can help you, right? We will
Okay.
we'll take either of the other rolls would have been fine. You find that after wandering for additional 5 or so minutes, you see where parts of the stone is cracked, and you can see more water like flooding in that is cracked, but it's more of a dribble now, and you see there is an alcove that's been made by this water that must have been flowing for years at the very least.
Over there. I think we can try to get our bearings and take a rest.
It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
I agree.
He yawns.
Alright, you all set yourselves up to at least watch both ends of the tunnel. Are you going for a long rest?
Yes.
Are we?
Please.
Yeah,
I would
Yes.
like the long rest.
Yeah.
I think how
we
bad,
need it.
how badly fucked up we might need it.
Alright. You guys set yourselves up to watch. There's 2 watches during this. Is there anyone that wants to take the first watch?
I'd like to take the watch with Master Key, if that's okay with you.
Sure. He's just gonna be too restless to sleep, so he's gonna volunteer himself anyway.
Alright. Everyone good with that? You guys wander off to sleep?
You
Not on
said
my
that
mind.
there was some water, right?
Yes, there's water trickling in different parts of this cave, and even a small stream that seems to be flowing past your feet off to one side.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wash up a little bit there.
It's nice to, wash up, like tend to your wounds a bit. Like, it's been actually a long day. You were traveling this whole day before getting interrupted in your sleep by fire entities and then running through the forest into the monastery. It's been a very long day.
Just feeling it in my muscles and stretching a little bit too. And then I'll eventually just close my eyes.
You all find a nice rest as Koya and Ki take watch. What are you two doing as you watch?
How are you doing, Master Key? How are you feeling?
It's kind of hard to really understand, like, process everything that happened, but back at the monastery they always teach us that I don't know if like you guys like have something similar beliefs back at Yushin, but my master always taught me that our souls will continue on in different bodies, different vessels. So like even if Master Pigu, the one that we know of, has has passed like this, he still exists somewhere out there. Maybe not right away, but he'll be reborn in a different form. And then like he just like sighs very, very dramatically. And he's gonna say, in a way that that gives me some sort of peace.
There are similar elvish traditions and beliefs as such, but it is still not easy to lose someone whom you're close to, and I cannot imagine how it must feel for you at this age, especially. I'm very sorry.
He's gonna be a little confused, and he's gonna be like, "Are you calling me young? Are you not young yourself? Because you look pretty young to me."
I am. Let's say my appearance does not tell my true age, per se, but regardless, it's not easy, even if loss in itself is just very hard, even for the most experienced. It's not easy.
Thank you, Koya. I just wish we had more time so I could have given him a proper burial.
Why don't I tell you a little story, Master Key?
Ooh, stories. I love story time.
This is a story of a warrior. He thought he knew many things because he had reached adulthood. He was young, but still an adult nonetheless. But that is what he thought. But he had lived for 100 years. What else was he to learn under his parents or from the world around him? And with vigor, he left his parents and his home, seeking to know beyond what he already knew. And he was confident. And after all, he was a strong man. Anything he didn't know, he could face and learn and overcome through what he already learned. But nothing could prepare him for the shock when he heard the news of his mother's passing. And it was like an unseen rend into the chest. And with haste he rushed back into his home, but his mother was already gone. And I'm gonna look to Key kind of with a solemn look. Burned to ashes. And this warrior was at a loss. After all, how could he have foreseen such pain? The traditions depicted that his mother would live on, but it still does not account for the pain that he felt. And for days, he mourned the loss, but with time he stood once more, persisting. For even though his mother had passed, she still lives on, through him, through what he has learned from her. And so is your master. And I'm going to take out a stone, a piece of stone, in the shape of a hand, a very wizened hand with wrinkles. And to Key, this would be a very familiar piece of stone from back at the monastery. And I'm going to place the stone hand in his hand and clasp mine on top of him. Your master's... What?
Wait, like a statue hand, or...?
The hand is
Remember?
beyond familiar, Key, as you take a look at it, and it dawns on you that Master Pigu's hand was in a similar position before he passed, right in front of you.
Wait, that's morbid. Sorry, keep going.
Well, I just wanted to. That's a long story, but I still wanted to say that your master still lives on. Even when he passed, or wherever he may be reborn, he still lives on through your teachings, and and his voice will still be with you, urging you towards who you want to be. So, Master Key, I don't. Despite the harsh loss and the harshness of this world that it has brought upon you, I do not want you to despair. We, as the party, and I'm going to look at the sleeping party and look back at him. We the party, everyone here, we're here for you, and as well as your master.
Thank you, Koya. And then he's gonna take off one of the bandages on his arms and then wrap it around the stone hand and then like place it very carefully into his bag. When this is all settled and done, I'm going to come back to the monastery, maybe on my own, maybe with the rest of you guys. But I'll return this to I'll give Master Pigu a proper burial, even if it's just his hand left.
That sounds like a great idea.
As you think on the future, on returning one day after everything is said and done, the silence takes you as you two enjoy each other's company for a while and keep watch. Both of you can give me perception checks. Is there any light available right now?
I do have dark vision.
Yeah.
I do not.
Are you putting out any light at all, Key?
Nope.
Alright, then your perception will have disadvantage, unfortunately. Alright.
17 for me.
Key, it's been a long day, and, you know, now that you carry your master's hand, it's a little comforting. It's nice to have a goal again after such shocking events, but you do get distracted by everything that's happened. Koya does keep a good lookout, and every so often, Koya, you think you hear a rumbling in the distance of whatever that creature was, but after the first hour you're on watch, it no longer appears. You don't hear it any longer. The water trickles past, and that makes faint sound in the night, but it seems everything is uneventful as it goes on, and your watch comes to a close. Are you waking up for the second watch?
Whomever wants to wake up.
Oh no, Ken never wants to wake up.
Did anyone volunteer before you guys went to sleep?
I can volunteer. I get.
You can definitely wake Ken up, he's just gonna be grumpy.
He's gonna
could also wake up.
when Key goes to lie down, he accidentally trips on Cordelia and wakes her up.
The hell!
Oh,
Your dreads go all knotted, and your head goes sideways, Cordelia, as you lift her awake.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
I guess that's my cue. And I stretch in the ground. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Mister. Okay, I go towards Koya. And I sit put right next to him. Put sleep in my eyes still.
Am I
Hello.
still taking watch?
That's up to you. You can go to sleep if you want. Or
You're
maybe-
the elf.
I am the elf.
You should go do your elf stuff. It's fine. I can stay awake.
Are you sure? I can probably see if anybody else wants to take watch. Perhaps Miss Noel or Lord Arkenfield.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, if any of them wake up, okay. If any of them wake up, okay.
Well, can wake up. Really hears the commotion, and she's a light sleeper, having been in the room for a long time.
Well, cats do sleep with one eye open, kind of thing.
Good morning. We'll stretch over, even though it's still dark.
I'm gonna head back and start meditating, because sleep is for the weak.
Oh,
All right.
bye.
Is there anything you two are doing on your watch, speaking or whatnot?
That was a crazy night. I mean, is it night? I don't even know what time it is right now.
It's still pretty dark out.
Yeah, outside it was like so smoky and it was like hard to see, and my skin kind of dried up. So,
Oh, how are you feeling?
I think after this sleep, I feel pretty good. I just need to, get my cardio on, and then I'll be good.
Gotta work out.
I gotta work out, and maybe at that point I'll start doing some push-ups.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like I need to practice more. I felt really weak in that battle. I'm out of shape.
Well, the thing is, I'm strong, and that's kind of like my thing, right? But you're very sneaky, and you have a very keen eye. So it's fine. You don't have to be strong in order to be able to,
Yeah, I gotta work on my aim.
You got
That
it.
is crazy. I've seen monsters before, but I've never seen so many at once. I wonder where they came from.
Yeah, I wonder too. It's and the scariest thing is, when I was in that cave, and not in the cave, but in the trap, I was like thinking, what if we never get to see each other again?
Oh,
Because
that'd be so sad.
I couldn't hear any of y'all from, and I thought it was like, maybe there was like I don't know, a rock fell in front of the gate and we were just trapped, but it really did seem like there was something else happening.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the jewels that we were fiddling with, but I always knew that we'd be able to find each other again. And I'm glad we were able to find each other so quickly.
I mean, I just
Or
pet Noel in the back. Normally, I'm glad to.
oh, I'm glad I can see you again too. And even though this has been a rough adventure, I'm glad we're able to spend more time together instead of just seeing each other every now and then.
Yeah, that is a nice change, isn't it? I really felt like, I don't know. I always felt like we could be closer since we kind of have like similar. We're
Like
both very
interests.
curious, and we know a lot about gnomes, and I feel like
And jewels and
ju-
shiny things.
yeah, we do love our jewels.
I wish we could have kept the one that we took earlier, but I don't think we should touch that again.
Maybe if we come back, maybe we can try and actually bamboozle the gate, not let it bamboozle us.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Bless.
Oh.
But yeah.
Cordelia, how do you feel being on land for so long?
Well, it's different. It's very different. But I kind of grew accustomed to it after. Well, I don't know if you know, but I'm originally from over yonder. And over yonder, we don't really have much, water. Or like, we're kind of like, we're not landlocked, but I used to. Yeah, that. What was that? Oh my goodness! I just heard something in my ear. Yeah, the spine of Burgess. I I didn't really have much access to water until I eventually did, and so it's not completely. I'm not a fish out of the water, if you can say that.
Oh.
But I did grow very accustomed to be on sea, especially, and just feeling the freedom and the salt water and the breeze, and waking up with like the smell of 100 men not showering for like months. It was kind of lovely in a way, in a very bizarre way.
Well, it sounded really nice up until that last part.
Yeah,
I
your
don't
nose
think I've
is-
ever been like out on the sea before. I haven't gone much past like the coast of this land, so
How
maybe-
do you deal with water? I mean, I've seen you swim pretty well when we fell into the stream.
I guess I'm pretty proficient at like swimming in lakes and stuff, but I've never like been in the ocean. I've only seen it. It kind of terrifies me, to be honest.
Well, if we ever get an access to a ship, I'm very, very good at ships. I used to be with a crew way
Hmm.
back then. And,
All right. It sounds
Well,
scary, but I trust you, Cordelia.
Yeah.
As you all reminisce about, Cordelia, your stories about the different things you've experienced on the sea, and reminisce about the times you did visit Noelle, and realize that of the group that you two have known each other the longest of anyone here. The night passes. Make perception checks, both of you. If you have dark vision, it's normal. I need a dude to actually have. I always forget.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
sure.
think we both do. Yeah, cats do.
Yeah.
At least-
Cats don't have dark vision though, don't they?
Yeah, I remember
They
this
do.
was a sour point. But I just gave you dark vision because it makes sense. Yeah, you both did
Yeah,
regular perception checks.
Okay, one
Thought
sec.
it did have dark
Yeah.
vision.
You do.
Actually, do
Oh.
cats do not?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, interesting.
Skill check. Why am I struggling?
It wasn't good either way.
1 second. I don't.
Do you have your
Not
selected menu?
Yeah, I do.
Skill check, and then it should be
Yeah, but the other bit doesn't appear. You know when you click on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if
Could it be behind something accidentally?
Yeah, I'm trying to move things around. Sorry, guys, I
No,
always
you're
take
good.
so long.
Good.
Skill check. Okay. Oh my god, I have. Okay. Out of character. I got a second monitor, so it appeared in the second monitor. And then okay. What's the perception? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it? Oh. Is it with advantage or normal?
Normal.
Okay, there you go.
Right. Both of you keep a word out. Noelle, you feel your hair a little bristly. It's been, like everyone else, a long day, and, a lot of moving and running, and, just emotions in play for the rest of your party. You're thinking of how to deal with it. But you do your best to keep a watch. Cordelia, you do as well, and thankfully it seems this cave is pretty uneventful. Nothing's happening. Eventually, you feel your rest come to an end. You come out of your meditation, Koya, as it seems like most of the time has passed. You all can hit resting and then long rest. As a reminder, you regain hit dice, and you spend those hit dice on long rest. So you will not be at full.
Wait, we regain our hit dice?
Yes.
We regain all of our hit dice.
You regain half your hit dice.
How many hit
Oh
dice do I
boy.
have?
Is it long rest?
So you are level 4, so you guys, yes, hit long rest. You regain 2 hit dice, as well as your class resources, and then you can choose to spend those hit dice.
That's not even gonna bring me to full.
Yep.
Is it not? So my HP goes up 2 points.
So if you hit resting and then long rest, it should give you an option to roll hit dice, as well as automatically give you back your like.
Did not give me my hit dice back, I think. Like, it said I had 0 hit dice because I've already rolled them all.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't
Yeah,
think
mine-
I could.
Mine says 0 too.
Go ahead and
Yeah, I did.
after long rest, then hit short rest, and that should let you roll your hit dice.
Oh,
I hit long rest twice to do it.
Oh, okay. I need to
I like the
finish-
first time it said 0, so I gave myself 2, but then they didn't actually roll, so I just hit long
I
rest
need to
again.
fix that
I
coding.
got 7 HP. Guys, I'm under half HP.
Oh
I'm
no.
confused.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Now I have 2 left. So I gained 2, or did I already?
Oh, wait.
You hit short rest, correct? And then you. I will fix this coding at some point, I swear.
Ask how long is a full rest?
A full rest is 3 days.
Damn. Okay.
It's like, you're in town and you just get to not worry about anything.
I just want to chill in the cave for 3 days.
Damn, wait, sleep. Did I do that right? I don't know.
Yes, I think that's right.
We only have like a few health potions, right?
You guys have 12
We have
hit
several.
potions.
Yeah, we had hella. We had a lot of.
Are those like creepy magic-y ones that might turn you into a demon?
No, those are the ones that Obak Pro homebrewed.
Okay.
By the way, Ash, when I used my hit die, it didn't actually subtract. I did it manually, but just so you know.
Oh, if you hit long rest twice, then it probably gave you back hit dice as well.
Oh, okay.
So I can fix that.
Mine
I would like
didn't
to drink
change. Just-
one potion now, just in case. I think I'm holding a potion, so I might just like take my own potion.
Yep.
When I wake up and I'm like still not feeling great.
It's like an energy drink after like being hungover.
Like, do not feel
Wake
bad
up,
about drinking health pots. There might be a reason you got 12.
I'm gonna drink one now.
Oh
How do
boy.
I heal it up?
So if you're doing a full action, since you're not in combat to use it, you regain 10 HP.
Okay.
Did I
In
heal?
an hour.
Who's holding the other potions?
I will say Cordelia is. Oh, this is a great moment, right? You probably don't have that crate after, I will say, your short rest after Smolderkin fight. You're like, okay, we can't take this crate. So you guys packed it into yourselves. How many is each person holding?
Okay.
Of the 12, who is carrying what?
Let me. I think I have it written down.
Well, we do have a box of 12 potions. We can just split it evenly within ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Like 5.
who might die faster?
Me. I'd like 3, please.
Okay. we can
I
put
only want
three-
to take 1. I'm okay with 1, so that kind of evens it out.
Okay. 3 on Kenza and 1 on Cordelia's.
Yes. Remember to update the inventory.
I could do 3, 3, 2,
got
2,
it.
2, probably.
Nice.
Got it.
Sav, take
3 3.
inspiration for dealing with
Thank you, Safi.
bookkeeping.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
No problem.
What about
Okay, 3 1. We have 8 potions left, I think, between Kia and Noel and me.
Yeah, I probably only need 2. I don't take a lot of damage in general.
Okay, I can put 2 on your end.
I might drink one now.
Okay.
How much do they heal again? 2d. Oh, 10. Okay.
Yeah. Outside of combat, they're 10 HP. Inside of combat, if you take a full action, they're 10 HP. If you use a bonus action, then you roll for it.
Okay.
He still has 1 health pot in his inventory from before on the thing.
Yeah, you guys have
Was that ever
personal
used?
HP pots from Obak.
Yeah. Because, I just drank a personal one and then grabbed 3 from the group.
Wait, I have.
Grab 3. 3. Yeah,
I'm
you do.
just
You bought
looking
one
at the
from
thing,
Obak.
Obak gave
yeah,
you
I'm-
each one
I'm gonna-
personal, plus you got the box of 12, which the monks don't need
Okay.
anymore.
1.
They need more than
1,
ever, you mean?
3 1 6.
I will take one. A health pot.
You can have. We have 6 potions left over.
Yeah,
You
we
can
have enough
3.
that everyone can get at least a few.
Don't feel bad for taking them, because even if you yourself don't drink them, as you recall when Noelle fed it to Koya, it's good to have them
Yeah.
to help your teammates out.
Ken will always take more because he wants to be the group's healer.
Okay, I can allocate. Key, you said you drank 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allocate 3 to you. Ken has 3. I'll take 3 then. I think that should add up.
Oh, as a reminder, Ken, you do have access to the healer feed now from
Yes.
working through it.
Which I always forget how it works, but I basically have like healing kits that can like stabilize people to 1 HP or something.
As well as healed them. Let me check.
I've looked this up like 5 times.
I have too, and I've gone back and forth quite a few times. You can restore hit points to a creature, 1d6 plus 4.
Oh, okay.
And then you can use this.
If I have a healer's kit, I have not made any healer's kits.
You would have got one from Obak.
Okay.
Like-
I feel like this would probably like wouldn't use up the kit when I use it though.
Yes, there are 10 uses. Healers kits have 10 uses.
Oh, okay. How do you make one? Is that something I can do like back in town?
Yeah, you can make one yourself, or you can buy one. They're not that expensive.
I'll put a healer's kit here and then 10 uses.
I'm gonna take a potion and heal for 10.
This is quite good actually. So if we don't want to use up our potions, I can give slightly smaller benefits. A perfect roll would still give 10 HP.
Oh, wait.
I only have 10 uses before I have to like buy or make more though.
Oh, nice.
Maybe we should be using those instead of the health pots, which can be used in
Yeah.
combat.
I think I can also do this in combat. So it should be okay either way. But is anyone like still kind of low? I might use one on myself right now.
Let's see.
He is good.
Leah and Cordelia
think
still
I'm
looking up. I'll try using it once on myself then.
I got a still 36 out of 54, so I'm okay, I think.
Alright, I'll try using one on myself just to kind of get the hang of it.
Yeah, do it.
So I take out like the kit that Obak gave me when we were training. I take out like a bunch of different like bandages and like potions and stuff and like mix them up. And then how do I roll this? 1d6 plus 4?
Yep.
Plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice.
Yes, so plus 4.
Okay. I forget how to roll.
In brackets, or you can do /r space.
Okay, and then 1d6 plus 4. I get 6 more HP.
Nice.
Alright. Looking much better now. 9 more uses. Okay.
Right. You all good? Is there anything else you want to do before setting out?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Well, let's get right on this. One sec. Just doing some real quick stuff on my end. Okay, good enough. All right, you all pack up the small camp you had made for the night. Stretch. Oh, feel your muscles aching from the constant pressure last night, but you know, you guys are still neck in the middle of who knows what, and so continue on forward. As you do, it's still dark, and a bit of luminescence on the headlight does illuminate your path enough for you to see the workstone continue on your right or left. The ground is more given into cavern stone, and you see that stream of water that is passing through the middle but leaning to the right gets larger and larger. As it does, you see more little streams, and it can't help but sometimes get splashed by it, and it's really cold. Noelle, since you're so lower to the ground, I'll say, you do splash by it a bit more, and you feel it's really, really cold. You guys continue forward as you do, and the passage starts narrowing a bit and then widening. You see it's like giving in to more age as less and less seems like people have been down this far and taken care of it. Is there anything you guys talk about as you're walking? As we give Noelle a chance to reconnect.
Oh boy, I don't like caves too much. This is kind of claustrophobic a little bit.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just feeling a little big for tiny spaces.
Hopefully with Miss Noel's guidance we will be able to get out of it soon.
Wait, Cordelia, I have something for you. And he's gonna grab the water spirit that Koya gave him, and he's gonna hold it out to Cordelia and be like, "This helps me when I'm feeling kind of anxious. Maybe it'll help you."
Oh, thank you. Are you sure you don't need it?
You can give it back later.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about that. Okay.
I think he's just gonna keep walking.
Thank you. I'm just holding it with both hands, and I'm like, kind of like feel a tear coming down my cheek.
Aww.
You all continue on, and the water widens, and now all of you do feel the water as it's covering the whole floor, and it's cold. It's so cold. It's like, even if you have footwear and whatnot on, it's freezing. And since Noelle's not here, I'll be like, Noelle is shivering because she has paws. She's just like looks over to you, Cordelia, and like just like up, and she starts climbing up,
Of course.
and goes to your shoulder.
I'm just gonna pick Noelle up and put her there, and like gonna be like trying to like squish one of her. I don't know. Trying to try to dry her up a little bit.
Yeah. Celine, to get you a bit caught up, the water that's on the floor now, which you all are like passing through at a low level, is freezing, and so Noelle went on top of Cordelia's shoulder since she has paws and not footwear.
Soft furry paws.
Soft furry paws are very cold.
Oh, thanks.
It's okay. I got you.
You guys continue forward, and the water gets colder and colder, and you feel ice and water, and then it freezes more and it becomes solid ice. And
Walk on the ice. Now we're not so cold.
those
Is it like natural? Is it because we're so deep? Would I know if it was
You can
because
give me either a
it's
nature
so
check
deep in the earth?
or an arcana check if you think it's magical. It's up to you.
I'm a little sus of it, so I'm gonna make an arcana check.
Sure.
Totally not, because I have a... Hold on, let me see. Never mind, they're both the same. I'll make a nature... I'll make whatever check is necessary. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Can I make a nature check since he
30,
spends a
20?
lot of time
Yes, go for it.
I have a question too.
in
Is
the
it like
mountains?
would I be able to notice if it was like salt water, sweet water? What kind of water is?
Are you tasting it?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Okay.
gonna like.
Give me a nature check yourself.
Okie dokie. I thought you were gonna say.
Roll me a
saving
wisdom
throw.
saving throw.
No. Nature.
Key.
Waters from the Feywild.
Unfortunately, you're wearing lighter shoes than quite a few of your party, and so it's really cold, and you're trying to bend down and do it, but you're just like, your fur is like standing on end a bit as it's letting the water stick to your baggier clothing. It's not enjoyable, and you have a hard time concentrating. both Cordelia and Koya. Cordelia first. It's not salt water, but it doesn't exactly taste like fresh water either. Like it's probably more fresh than salt, but it tastes like nothing. Like no sediment, no minerals, nothing. It seems like almost very, very pure water.
Water's pretty good.
And
I mean,
Like cave water, underground water.
yeah, but even then, Cordelia, you having used to caves from your dwarven background, knows there should be some form of like dilution here, something mixing it up, but you don't taste any of that. And Koya, with your nature check, you yourself feel like it's very clean. The ice itself, as you can see with your dark vision, is very clear. There's nothing trapped within it, like nothing, like it froze with, sediment or anything in it. And even with the nature check, a bit of your suspicion is like, this doesn't seem like normal water. There's a very, very minute sort of magical feeling from it.
oh,
Well, it doesn't really seem to be normal water from what I can see. I think
it
would be
doesn't
best
taste
for us-
like it either.
Yeah, I believe it would be best for us to be careful as we tread forward.
Alright. As you guys move forward, I will let you know. I will ask you guys do not zoom out too much and use the vision that your characters use and can see. As
Okay.
I've tried vision blocking before and it lags the thing as well as stuff like that. But I'll let you know when to zoom in. I'll zoom you out yourself. But for now,
Okay.
you guys enter a passageway as the floor has indeed turned to ice, and the cave wall before you begins to open up. You can move as you please.
Still loading for me.
When
There you go.
you finish loading.
I think now that the ground isn't as wet, no, I'll walk on the ground again.
Very freezing, but at least it's not sticking to you.
Is there any magical aura that seems to resonate within around this place?
Give me an Arcana check now.
Yay! Yay!
Like I said before, very light, almost diluted. Like the magic itself is. There's some magic in this ice, but it's not extravagant. It's not huge. It seems very much like
Faint.
with this. Yes, very faint. Like this amount of ice means like the magic is faint but made up for by the amount.
Jumping on the ice, is it completely sturdy with our weight on it?
You jump on the ice. Everyone looks at you. No cracks. Not a single breakage.
Is it still
good
dark in
ice.
here? Or
It
is
is
there any
still
light?
dark.
I
He's
don't
gonna-
want to light a torch on top of the ice, so can we just rely on the headlamp?
Do I sense a familiarity to this ice compared to the one that we had before in that one fight with the statue?
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh boy, y'all! I don't know.
Lots of
about
your
this
discovery. Ken would never think of it.
I will tell my teammates that this is very similar to when we encountered that statue. This is-
Some like ancient church-related thing, right? This place seems related to the monkey folk. Why would they have the same water?
interesting.
Or perhaps it's something of the nature of the scimitars that Miss Cordelia has.
Could be.
Oh boy.
Because
Both
you thought
places
of it,
seem ancient.
Cordelia, I'll give you a follow-up Arcana check to see if you can.
My
make-
Arcana
Yeah.
is so poopy, but I will.
Hey, you made up for it with your own player skill, remembering that.
Okay, 1 second.
He like bouncing off the walls.
He's
Is
like
it-
skating around.
With
Is
advantage?
he slipping at all on
It
the
is
ice?
not with advantage.
Ah!
Good try. I respect
Look at that 0.
it. With a 12, you at least get this much. You'll recall that the ice was used as a way to hinder something, as a way to stop the stone veneer specifically.
Hmm.
You remember how that area was sort of a testing ground where they used tieflings to test the stone veneer's capabilities. And the ice was used not as only a way to dampen the stone veneer's abilities and likely put it back into incarceration after the trial was done, but also to likely, as you recall, thaw the petrified tieflings.
Oh. Yeah, I will share. I will share that with the crew as well. My instincts, my Arcana instincts.
Well, if it was to hinder the earthen power of the statue, perhaps it is, as what Lord Arkenfield said, it is of the church's nature. Something that the church has embedded within it, or some other power that had control of the underground, the ruins that we had visited before.
Well, should we keep going?
Yeah.
Find out what's
Let's see
there,
what the ice is here to suppress.
Yeah.
There is one way to
Right.
find out.
or take the warning and leave.
Oh boy. Spooky.
I'm sticking close to Noelle to use her light.
Yum. He skates past.
How are you not falling?
Monkey, you're a very
That's
good
good.
skater.
As you
Hmm.
approach this far, the dark vision shows you
I have to
Uh,
figure out.
this much. There is a passage going this way as well as the cavern opening up above you. But with the 60 feet of dark vision, Koya, do you approach this way at all?
Yeah, I will.
When you get your 60 feet of dark vision at this very edge shows that this is a large tunnel as well, but it seems to be collapsed completely, about 60 feet out.
Well, there only seems to be one way then, and that is, it seems to be in front of us.
Is something wrong with the tunnel?
Collapsed.
Oh.
We will be blocked if we go that way. And I will point this way.
Hmm.
Then, then we should go that way. I trust your instincts, Mr. Koya.
I appreciate it.
Do I see?
Is that a bone?
Do I see this over here?
Press spacebar to point. Oh, that. Yeah.
Is can I like inspect it?
Sure. Make me a perception check as you try to look through the ice.
Oh boy.
Should probably stick together.
I'm scared of the dark.
Hard to see.
Just
That is.
seems
so
like
creepy.
some rocks that were malformed.
Oh, interesting rocks.
And no, I'll look to see if the rocks seemed like they, like, I don't know, broke naturally or if something broke them.
Wait.
Uh,
Yeah, sure. Give
guess-
me a. Yeah, sure. We'll do another perception check because it's through the ice.
And also light a torch and see if the ice reacts and like melts in any way.
Okay. You light a torch, have it above you. For
boy.
at least these few couple of seconds, it doesn't seem to react.
How
It felt
many?
like right next to the ice. Does it even get wet even a little?
Yes, you see it start like melting very slowly.
Okay.
I have an idea, and Okay, you guys step back a little bit. I grab my scimitar
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of try to stab the ice.
All right. You stab down into the ice with the scimitar, and you see it broaches the ice an inch, 2 inches, and then you see the ice start crawling up the scimitar, and very quickly.
I put my torch near the ice. It's going at the scimitar.
Okay, you halt the progress of the ice, and you see it start melting.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, this ice is kind of alive, guys.
The ice bag. What the hell?
Pardon?
I just try melting everything off the scimitar completely, just down the whole length.
Thank
You
you.
melted off the scimitar without issue.
Thank you.
Okay. It reacted to your blade, which is from the place that also had ice in it. I'm gonna try using my sword and stabbing in the same place.
You stab it, you chip a little, but the ice doesn't react as it did before.
Oh boy.
That's what I thought.
What do we do, guys? Wait, let me. Should we call the rest? Where is Koya?
Oh, let's check on Koya. Koya, what you looking at?
Oh boy.
I'm looking at this strange horn-like thing over here, as well as kind of getting the rest of my surroundings around the temple.
Alright. Give me a perception check, or another check that would be appropriate is fine.
Wait, perception or what?
Perception, or if you can definitely see that object, you can make a nature, or if you think it's anything else, medicine. Depends on what you think it might be.
I have a feeling I know what it is, so I'm gonna make... Okay, that's pretty good.
It definitely looks like an oversized talon of some kind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why did you think it was a talon?
Well, it's definitely either a horn or like a claw of some kind. But why would it be under the ice? And it's like my height, right? It's like 5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would I know what kind of creature it might be? Or like what kind of creature like it would possibly be with a fucking talon that's 5 foot long?
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
There's a couple creatures that I could think of, but
It's based on what you think Koya would have encountered or heard about.
well, this does not bode well for us if this still lives. If it's what I think it is. Do I hear the party?
Yeah.
By the time I'm thinking?
And scream pretty loudly.
Well, is something the matter?
And like freaks out, like the sword, the Cordelia's sword, the ice reacted and attacked her.
Yeah, this one like, and it just froze my scimitar until Cat came and
That's
just.
it.
Is it still frozen?
No, it got
No,
melted.
no.
off by the-
I melted it off.
He's going to,
I still have the torch.
but he's gonna
Well-
like bulldoze into Koya.
Slide.
Oh, sorry. And he just falls on his bum.
It's alright. Well, if this is like the ice that we've faced before, then it's highly likely that because it is from the same source, the ice might seek to counter it. So I wouldn't put the sword in the ice if I were you, Miss Cordelia.
But what if it was meant to go in the eye?
Well, if you remember what happened to the statue when it went into the water.
Oh, I guess you're right. All right, I'll keep my boy dry, and I put it back in my waist.
If the like beast inside your weapon ever becomes our enemy, we know how to handle it.
Mhm.
There is another problem, however. I think that this ice is encasing some remnants of beasts. There's a talon, a claw, that's about 5 feet long.
Where did you see this?
That's just up ahead. And I'm gonna point
Let's go
here.
check it out.
But and I suspect that it's from a larger beast. And I think that if the beast is what I think it is, which I hope it is not, then we might, and if there are more that still live, then we might be in very big trouble.
Where have you seen a beast with talons that big before?
There was a village that I stayed in 30 years ago.
30.
Yes, they had an ancient beast problem that they wanted me and several of the mercenaries to take care of. Several died. It was not a pretty sight.
This is from the continent that Koya's originally from?
Yeah.
Okay. And you found a similar beast in the caverns on this continent that might have links to a different, like a portal going to a different place.
I may be incorrect. It might be a completely different beast that I've never heard of before in Ozia, but I do think that if not similar, then it poses a similar danger to us if there are more that still live.
So the best thing to do to protect people is to take it out now. Hopefully this ice is keeping it
Alright.
weak.
You're right. We can only hope.
And with that, Ken's like ready to charge forward. Let's go find the beast.
All right.
Onwards.
Sorry, can you let me back in
Oh,
there?
yes.
Thanks.
Don't
Try and
apologize.
melt.
Just let me know anytime.
That's
I try and melt the ice around the talon.
Okay?
Is it close enough to the surface to reach?
No. As you melt and you try to make some measurements, it looks like it's a good 10 feet at least below.
Oh, I give up on that.
Okay.
Oh.
Key, what you up to?
Updating notes.
Oh, okay. Just checking. At this point, I need everyone to roll a perception check.
Oh.
Right. As thanks to the torch and those with dark vision, as well as the light from Noel's cap, you guys have ample vision to notice a couple things. Specifically, Key and Ken, you see a number of dots over here. Let me move your camera a bit so to make sure you guys can see this. So you see a number of almost like holes in the ice
Okay.
coming from this direction and like going down this line.
Ice fishing spots?
No, they don't seem deep, and you don't see like water through them. It just seems like almost little holes in the ice.
Can't do anything funny. Fish.
Like from here,
Okay.
they just seem like little depressions.
Mhm.
What's up ahead?
Up ahead, it's you see
Ice.
ice
Is there a
and
bone?
walls.
Is that a bone?
And a bone under the
Oh,
ice.
yeah,
Look
you
at
can
that.
see another bone there. Another bone there. That's a
Ah.
bone right there.
Oh no. Can I inspect more of these bones
Sure.
to see? Okay.
What would you like
Definitely
to
going towards the
confirm
holes.
that you haven't already?
If it's connected to the same talon that I saw earlier.
Yep.
It is?
Yep. It seems to be of a similar density, and as you're piecing it together, it would, very much be the next piece of the finger bone.
Oh, Buiman. And here it's the same?
Yes.
Ah, is there faint blue glow coming from the wall here?
As you get closer, yes, there's a faint blue glow that starts on this wall as it goes up and goes up this way. But for some reason, only as you get closer to it and start walking by it does it really like focus. Like you didn't see it from further away.
What does it feel like?
It feels like just a luminescence coming from the wall itself. There's no gems. It just seems like the wall itself is giving off this almost like misty blue glow.
Like arcanic light?
Kind of, but not like an enchantment. More so just an effect.
Natural.
Yes.
Natural magic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start following this.
Okay. In the meantime, Ken,
Checking out the holes.
give me investigation check.
Noel wants to throw rocks into the holes.
All right, you just start putting
Oh.
rocks into the
I
holes.
don't know nothing about ice.
Yeah, they're just these depressions, and you see they almost lead in a pattern up there as well as down there.
I'll call out to the others. Hey, can you make any sense of this? Where'd Koya go?
Am I too far away to hear, or is that within hearing range?
How far did you go? Oh, you can hear.
Can I also make an investigation
Yes, you
check?
can. So investigation or survival. Key, you can do the same.
Ooh,
Key, you have advantage.
and survival.
Okay. I'll do survival.
All right. Both of you
Oh,
recognize these depressions at the same time. They seem like footprints, and to Key, they are of a familiar uniform. They kind of like your feet, but a bit smaller, but just as the same sort of shape. And Noel, putting it together, they do seem sort of... You don't know how these footprints are melted into the ice.
He will walk up to the footprints and like he's gonna like pretend to he's gonna take his shoe off first and then like hover his foot over it to like see how they match. And he's gonna be like, Ken, come look at this.
You think these are footprints? How well do they match?
They match pretty well, considering Key's feet are definitely
Right.
not humanoid, are not human. Like, they're a bit longer and more made for gripping. You can see the digits there, and they do definitely look like a monkey folk's foot.
So there's another monkey folk here. Ken like looks down at his own feet and like tests like stepping. He's like, how did they get melted into the ice like that? I'm gonna put like some fire nearby and like try and melt the ice around the footprint, and like then like when it gets taken away and refreezes, like is the pattern still there?
The ice that you melt away doesn't refreeze.
Okay, it just stays melted. Like, can I erase the footprint then?
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
But you
How
can...
about if I like step in the melted water?
You step into the melted water, and it's freezing, it's cold. It's...
It doesn't make any footprints or anything.
No? And you get the sense from, like, how the footprint is and how your torch was, that the footprint must have been a lot hotter.
What?
Okay. Noel, you
Simple
can
one.
follow the footprints. How far are you wandering away? Just let me... You can move your token. Because it does continue all the way, and as you do see...
I'm gonna follow. So I don't want to split up too much.
You do
Okay,
see
let's go.
another passage, very similar to your own, but now that you, in your head, map it on the right of your own, that leads down south. And it seems a footprint, as you can see they're facing, walked from this all the way up and towards the direction you guys were going.
That's where they came from. No, I'm gonna follow it down. The others went up.
I guess we can go back. I don't want us all to get separated again.
At the very least, you do confirm that that's wherever this figure came from, was towards its parallel passage to yours. Meanwhile, let's take a look at these two. You see the lights as it continues. It goes up the walls, and the walls up here and here You guys see, I will say, this much at the
More
moment.
bones. Oh shit!
Oh,
What?
Is that's
that's a boy. That's a thing.
a
Okay.
boy.
Well,
I will ask you
I'll
not to move.
first of all,
for this moment.
yeah, I won't. First of all, I'll turn like back and look at if I can still see the party. And
No, you
can I?
can't.
Oh,
They wandered away.
and I'm gonna be like, Kuya, I think we lost the members. Where are they?
They are farther down the path, but I'm gonna look down. Can I look at there's stuff? There's stuff, right?
Yes.
These stuff. What does that look like?
Give me another nature check.
Ah,
Can I do it as well?
Yes.
that's a natural one.
Nice.
Oh,
You're just like,
no.
what part of the body? Like, you feel so confident now in your prediction, and you're just like, what part of the body is this? Like, it doesn't match the size. And then Cordelia, you're like, oh, it's a baby. And
Oh.
It's a baby.
Cordelia matches with you, and is like, wait, it's not from the same one. This is from a smaller one. It's not just one skeleton.
There's multiple.
There is
Yeah,
multiple.
this must be.
Well,
A baby. Do I know what kind of baby it is? Like the.
Well, Koya seems to think so, but at least you were able to put together that this is definitely not the same skeleton as the talent and the other ones. It's definitely a much smaller specimen, and it looks like this is the tail and end of it.
Do I relate it to he?
It's not a monkey. If that's what you're asking.
Yes. So would I know what it is?
No, you will not.
Okay. I just wonder what kind of creature it is.
it doesn't seem to be. Well, thank heavens it's trapped in the ice and not above it, and attached to a body. Because this would not be pleasant to fight, especially in our states.
I am very wary of the ways of my scimitars and my ways right now. After hearing that, I'm like, okay, don't hiccup, don't hiccup. Don't.
Can I take a look at? Is this another thing that's encased within the ice?
Yes, but you see this is part of the stone fixture, and it seems like it was a stone sort of design placed in to the ground before this place was encased in ice. As if
Okay.
that down there was floor level.
What about this thing right here?
That is a bit of an alcove, but you do see more bones. The alcove ends just outside here. At this moment, is the party catching up? You guys said you were heading back?
Yep, Ken's trying to catch up.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Okay, I'm just gonna move you to get the party in one place. Okay. So, as you guys get near and you see the light that Koya saw is kind of running up these walls, and you guys can see a bit better. You see this much.
And these like heads are completely buried under the
Yes.
ice.
What's this?
Koya, you see more bones, and your eye line goes higher and higher, and properly you see this now. Yeah, let's do this.
Wow.
Ooh.
Just wanna run inside.
As you can see small bits of lights, of blue light coming off from between these stone brick walls, and you see a faint glow coming from this stone dragon's head.
Can I climb up this wall?
Yes?
Like, just all the way up here?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, look! I'm up here. So, like, there's this
See
bone
anything about
here.
this head?
Anything what? Sorry. For this key, one thing you notice right away after climbing up the wall is, wow, it was cold down there, and you're like, okay, time to get further away from the ice. It's just as cold here. And as you turn around, you look at this bone, and you can feel the chill coming off it. It's almost giving off the same sort of mist that you breathe out is coming from this bone.
Careful,
gonna,
Key. Try not to touch too many things up there.
Okay, see you see.
I'm gonna like tap the bone lately to see like if it's hollow or something.
Okay, you tap it, and it is slightly hollow. You do see it. There's a hole in it, and maybe it's part of a spinal cord. And you look over, and you can see matching bones here and here.
Can I try to climb this as well? I might need to make a check.
Sure, it'll take you more time. You're not in combat, so you're not in a super rush. But
Okay.
this is a 20-foot climb. Yeah, let's give me an athletics check. Let's see how you do. Perfect.
20.
Without too much of an issue. It takes you more time than Key, but you make it up there without a worry.
Okay.
Nice job, Koya.
Thank you. Can I check out the bone?
Yeah. This is definitely confirming your thoughts. Give me a medicine check. Or
Medicine check.
to get some additional info besides what
Okay.
you've confirmed.
Okay. They're bones. That's They're bones.
Exactly tell how long ago this creature must have died, but without a doubt, these are the bones of an ancient white dragon.
Ooh.
Let's go through the door. What if there's a dragon we can fight?
Oh no.
Does it match the bones that the talon that I saw? Does it seem to match the talon that I saw that's encased in ice back there?
With that medicine check, unfortunately, you can't tell.
Mm.
I will say, Ken.
So then,
I'm sorry. Go for it.
so good. Good.
I was going to say, Ken and Cordelia, as you approach this, you see that there is a wall of ice that goes up the stone passage, and not just through it, it goes up these walls and up to the dragon head above you. But you see that in the center, there is a hole. A hole that is reminiscent of when you put your torch down to the ground, melted through the ice in a very
Are there
person-sized...
footprints?
Yes, leads right up to the hole, and a very person-sized melting, like a melt-burn hole through the ice to the other side.
So my understanding is that a burning monkey folk ran through here and went to go fight a white dragon.
Sure.
Well, we have to go help the monkey folk. Ken is basically just trying to stop himself from immediately running through. He's just gonna make the opening a little wider with his torch.
Kev, I think we should wait for the rest. I don't know if
Yes,
we should...
There's a terrible evil. We need to protect the place.
Yes, I sense that too, but I don't think we should go by ourselves. It seems
Oh, okay.
quite dangerous.
All right. I'll just keep making this entrance bigger. Okay, just get them down so we can go and fight the beast.
Okay, you stay there. Do you guys see some? Okay, so I go first here. Do you guys see something over there of interest?
I found a bone. Do you want it?
No, thank you, thank you.
He's already like trying to push the bone off the edge.
it just falls on my face like pop.
Yeah, it's a big bone.
Oh, okay. Ouch.
It's like the size of your chest, Cordelia.
Oh boy.
Koya,
so
since you're up there also, can you make our con checks? Go for it, Cordelia.
Okay.
Do you actually throw the bone key?
Oh boy. I push it over the edge, but like on.
Yeah, I'm
on the
gonna
side.
try and catch it with my.
Okay. Give me
With
a
my-
dexterity check. As it comes hurtling towards you.
Oh no! I'm gonna get.
Burr.
Okay. Normal.
Okay. without a doubt, with one hand, it just rests and your hand like sinks for like an inch, but you're just there, one hand, your muscles rippled, holding it up.
It's whatever. Just gonna look at it. What do I see?
It is very cold and it is oozing the same sort of mist as if you were breathing in a very cold air. You can make an Arcana check yourself.
Okay.
How would a bone ooze mist? Like it's breathing.
Okay, Key and Koya, you're a little unsure of like, why are these bones here? The dragon, the arena of Dragon's Lair, as you've been thinking, Koya? Cordelia, you're like, huh, it's cold, and you look at the ice, and you actually put together these bones. There might still be a dragon here, but it seems like these bones are what's the center point, the focus points for the magic that is letting all this ice stay here. It's as if they were implanted in all parts of this room to keep it frozen.
Yeah, I tried to speak a little louder so everyone can hear me. I don't know if everyone will be able to.
Mhm.
I think these bones are the reason why everything is icy here.
Oh? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I just the things that you see how it emits like some kind of mist. I think that's the reason why.
This mist you think is creating the ice?
I don't know if it's creating the ice, but it's definitely related to the ice in some way.
What happens if I put a torch near the mist coming from the bones?
The mist weakens a bit, but it continues to flow, kind of like, you know, putting, like, blowing air on a flame, right? It continues, but a little weakened.
Can I
By the way,
can I be a
Ken,
little reckless?
give me a charisma saving throw as you're walking this way.
Away from the door?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh. Charisma?
Yeah. The first time you saw that large dragon skull on the wall, you got a little Urkling, a little just like thing stuck in your throat. But you were fine. You walked through, you inspected the door. But as you walk away, you swear out of the corner of your eyes, you see the dragon's eyes light as you got near the door. And you hear a grundled voice in your head. Return of the Warden. And that word like sends shivers down your spine and racks your brain, and for a second you like clutch your brain, and once again you can see your hand is white when it comes up before it goes back to normal as you steel yourself.
Oh no! Okay, well, he's gonna go talk to Cordelia and like focus completely on keeping his face completely neutral. Look at the bones. And then when like everyone seems to be continuing to talk, he's gonna like go back over here. And look at his hand.
Can I be a little reckless and try and hit the skull that I have with my sword again? Not the ice, but the skull.
The bone or the skull up there?
The bone.
Yeah.
The skull that I. Was it a skull?
Like a
On the-
vertebrae.
It's like a spine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the bone. The bone.
You put it down, ready your dual blade, and smack into it, and once more you see a similar effect as the bone chips a bit, but at the same time you see the mist start condensing on the ice. Not ice itself, but almost condensation that freezes along your blade.
I'll just like pull away and shake shake the mist away.
You shake it, and the condensation's still there.
Can help?
What? Huh? What's going on? Ken's
you-
still staring at the dragon.
I'm just gonna approach him and be like, can you do this?
As she's walking
Fire?
towards you and talking to you in like a little fretful tone, you hear the voice in your head once again, Ken. Do you wish for entry, Warden?
Ken is still holding the torch like near where Cordelia can reach, but he's completely ignoring her.
And I just keep talking. I just wanted to try, like, you know, on the skull, not on the ice, because I know the ice is like it could affect it, but I didn't know if the skull, the spine was gonna affect. And then just continue blabbing.
Is Cordelia still holding the bone, or did you
No,
drop
the
it?
bone is over here now, where she.
Yeah.
And just kind of looks at Cordelia and then looks back at the dragon and just says, "Yes."
See that there's a hole right
Do I
here,
hear that?
and you all hear as a line just forms from the floor, goes all the way up to the dragon, and the ice itself like starts melting away. And in a matter of moments, it's melted and sloshes on the floor, freezes in place, and the way is opened.
Ken's gonna run over and say, Key, did you do something?
Smells bad.
This place is open. You're a monkey folk, right? Are you related to this place?
He's just scratching his head. Did you say something? Koya, what are they talking
He's
about?
freaking out.
I didn't.
What?
Oh, what's going on? Key, you must have been him. You must have done something.
I didn't do anything. There's no gems here or anything. I didn't touch anything. I didn't do it.
DM, I have a question. The magic that's permeating from the bones, from I don't know if there's something coming from the head, but does it feel more divine, or does it feel more elemental?
I can give you that, definitely elemental, and with your connection that you've had and your experiences with the divine recently, does not feel divine.
I'm gonna do something super stupid.
Do it.
I'm gonna climb up to the head.
Yeah. Yep, you are. You
I
climb up, give
thought
me
that Key would do
check,
that ages ago.
because this is getting a lot harder now.
Oh my god.
You get up here, no issue, here, and you're just like, damn. You start to take the easy way and then climb up to here, and you grab onto here, and you just start sliding down. And not that way. You slide down here, and then are just like grabbing on by one hand here, and just like, you're stuck.
That's fine.
He's gonna quickly climb over to help.
All right. You feel you're about to slip, and without Key's assistance, he just grabs you, pulls you up, and you guys now are sitting at this rim right next to the dragon's face.
Thank you, Master Key. That may have been a poor decision on my part, but
Gave me quite the scare, Koya.
thank you.
Maybe you should
I
leave
declined.
climbing to the monkey.
Perhaps I may have to take some lessons from you. I can't rotate my token, so I need to do it for me. But the energy, what does it feel like from the dragon?
Like, it's not divine still, if that's what you're wondering. It's elemental.
No, is it like centered? Is it stronger?
Yeah. It seems like it comes together at this point.
Okay. Second stupid thing. I'm gonna close my eyes, put my hand on the Nexus Stone, and I'm going to speak in Primordial. Tashen ni vokaruf misik odten. Spirits, I call, I seek, I answer. Give me your thoughts.
There's a moment of silence for a moment. Then you do hear a voice resounding in your head, Koya. You are not one of Ward, nor are you one of the monks. And then it just cuts out as it leaves your head.
Well,
I have a question.
Mhm.
Has Key ever seen anything like this before? Like either this type of like architecture?
The architecture, though very rudimentary, has a few. Like, it's similar to the oldest places of the monastery, right? But this seems even older than that.
Okay.
Like, as you recall, you are indeed underneath the monastery at the moment.
What about like just general information about dragons? Like, is it something he would have learned about?
The monks would not have taught you anything about dragons.
Okay.
And from your baseline and all of you guys that are native to Orzier, dragons have not been on this continent for hundreds of years.
Oh.
There's stories, and some people even, don't believe they exist, but there's people that at least have stories and have tales and tales from other continents, but none have been seen on Orzier in hundreds of years.
I'm going to start my way down. Do I need to make another
No,
athletics
you're
check? Okay. Master Key, would you like to come down?
Yeah, 1 second. He can't resist but like just climb in the very center of the dragon bed.
Okay.
And then like all the way down to the snout, and he's gonna like perch on it
Mhm.
and be like, "Hi guys."
Just waves below.
Hello. Hey.
Well, this entity, there's an entity in this room indeed. It seems to only respond to those of the warden and those of the monk.
Ken, charisma saving throw.
Do this to poor Ken. What are you saying?
Oh wait, you, for a moment you feel that headache come on again, but now that it's been twice in quick succession, you feel full control, and you look down, your hand hasn't changed, yourself, you seem fine.
Okay, that was... previous thing was just a fluke. Just my imagination. He's gonna come like a little bit over here and like whisper to himself. Like, as the chosen one, like he's staring at the dragon again, as the chosen one, tell me who passed through here before.
You hear the voice rumble, and you see the eyes of Light Key as it, like, eyes glow blue, like light blue, and awaken almost. And you actually all hear this as you are talking to it out loud now. Ken completely says,
Whispering quietly.
there was one clad monkey folk like the one here, except burn marks cross her face.
Kenya.
Said that.
1 second, I want to make a roll. How do I roll?
Once again, I'm gonna whisper.
/R, space.
R. Okay.
I'm gonna whisper so nobody else can hear me. When did she pass?
It's not been more than 2 hours. Like
Master Key, are you asking him something?
So when the thing started speaking and his eyes lit up, Key gets so startled he's gonna fall down.
Okay.
No.
Key falls down.
I'm gonna catch him.
That is. How much is your slow fall?
Slow fall. 5 times my monk level.
20 feet.
So 20 feet. Wait, no, 20 damage.
20 damage. Got it. Sure. You take 22 damage.
No, I tried to catch him though.
Okay, go for a dex
Can I-
save.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me?
dex check. Yeah.
A dex check.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you give me an acrobatics check if
oh,
Ken
here. Okay.
makes a... Ken, you have advantage in your acrobatics check as Ken also goes to stop your fall.
Oh god.
All right.
My rolls are shit.
That's good enough for at least half damage, so it goes to 21, so you only take 1 point of damage.
Let's go. He like bonks his head, but very slightly, and only he like bonks it on Ken's armor or something.
That's the damage.
Are you okay?
Yep, I'm good, thank you. I just got kind of startled when that thing started talking. You guys heard that too, right? It wasn't just me. I'm not
Yeah.
going crazy.
Yes, it seemed to answer questions of sorts? Were you asking him something?
Me? No, I didn't say anything. Who are you? Big lizard dragon stone thing?
Yeah, who are you?
Does not answer. Oh, then it shit. It says, but a guardian of the passageway.
Well, it seems to be answering to you, Lord Arkenfield.
Oh, he answered Key right there.
Master Key, can you try asking something again? What's
Asking
more?
something. What do you like having for dinner? It didn't respond.
Well, it did say it
Maybe
only...
there's only certain... It responds to who?
It responds to monks and wardens. I'm not sure
But-
of the monk,
He would be a monk.
but he was rejected from the monastery. I apologize, Master Key, but... Perhaps it does have something to do with you, Lord Arkenfield. It mentioned something of a warden of some kind.
I'm not a warden of anything. Or a monk.
Perhaps something that you don't know?
I will ask for insight checks all around as
Insight check!
Ken, you're having control over it. You don't need to keep making checks because it's over and over, but the headache is just chronic and dull. Noelle, you're just like, fuck, that's dragon talking. Key, you're like, shit, my head hurts from that bonk. Koya, it seems like Ken believes what he's saying, but there's still hesitance.
And is clearly panicking.
Yeah.
At the accusation. And at everything. Giant talking dragon in the sky.
Almost too distracted and wants to see what's in the door because it opened.
It opened and you see a passageway that continues on, lit on either side by that luminescent light, and it narrows and narrows, and you can see not the end of it, but you do see that it narrows until it gets about 10 feet wide.
Well,
Seems there's
perhaps...
one way to
Oh,
go.
Okay.
Yep, we
perhaps
should
it's-
probably, go back. This is too dangerous. Let's head back.
Warden, you hear the voice resound again. I ask a favor. She did not heed me. Does not seem to have good intentions. The seal must not be broken.
I'm gonna look at Key. Warden?
Is this her? Is this like allowed? Or only in Ken's head?
No, this is out loud because
I still haven't made my insight check.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm
go for
gonna
it.
do it right
Go
now.
ahead.
Let's go.
Give me
Let
that.
that resolve first.
Okay. Skill. Insight.
what
Yeah!
it's up to you, Ken. What does she?
Whispers.
Want to figure out from Ken?
Yeah, based on that.
Honestly,
so-
Ken doesn't know what's going on. Though there's definitely something weird. Like, you can probably figure out that the voice is responding to Ken. But he's clearly trying to make it sound like he's the one being responded to.
I'm gonna
And he's
grab
clearly
him
panicking.
by the shoulders. And I'm gonna look at him directly in the eye. I'm gonna be like, Ken?
Yeah?
There's something that's happening because of you right now.
Why would it be me?
You did mention you are the chosen one, or a warrior of the light, no?
Yeah, this might be a sign that
Here?
you actually are.
He's
In
gonna.
a place full of ice?
He,
this
he's
really-
gonna
Well,
make
you
that
find
was-
you find ice in the weirdest place. I'm sorry.
Not really what this is? Ken looks
well-
kind of like he didn't consider that possibility.
Regardless of what this is, this seems to be a place of sanctuary, the guarding something, and you seem to be chosen as one of its guardians. Whether that is of your own volition or not, I'm not sure, but looks up at the
Goes up for
dragon.
this.
Seems to have chosen you.
Right. Ken's gonna ask the dragon in like a very fragile voice. Dragon, am I the chosen one?
I know not what you mean, Warden, but I have none other to beseech. She intends to burn the guardian spirit. The seal of Abaddon must not be unleashed.
Abaddon.
Whoa.
Looks at everyone else.
For your
Abaddon?
defense.
I think
What's
you're
up?
mixed up, dude. This
What's
is
Abaddon?
This is Ken. This is not Warden.
He wears that face, but I have been designed to register wardens.
Are you
That
sure you
seems
don't
like
know what's going
something-
on, Ken?
And just shakes his head.
Is your
Something
name?
bad's gonna happen if we don't go in, I think.
My name is Ken. I'm Lord Ken Arkenfield the Third. And I am the chosen one to beat back the light. Or beat back the dark and save the light.
Well, it seems that there is a darkness beyond that seeks to destroy.
Should we go further? I
Yes,
feel
We
like
should fight it.
Then onwards we go.
can I shot
Light
like
up here.
one shot? Sorry, I'm struggling. Damn COVID. Can I one shot a potion,
Yeah.
healing potion?
Roll, you regain 10 HP.
How do I do the heal?
Yeah, damage / healing, and then healing, 10 HP. Alright. As you down that, everyone gathers together. Do you choose to move forward?
Yes.
Yeah.
Noelle,
Yeah, we do.
try to see, like, inspect the light that's down the hall.
Sure. It is. Make me an Arcana check.
She wants to see what's lighting it because it doesn't seem like fire. She's not sure what else it could be.
As you look down,
Nine.
it seems the same sort of misty ice energies that protrude through this whole space, except it's been, enchanted in a way to also give off light. It doesn't seem to be anything forceful, it just seems an added enchantment as the passageway continues.
Kind of like it's glowing.
Yep. Like tendrils of ice in the wall between the workstone that's glowing.
Shall we move forward?
This key
You said there's a hole here, right?
Oh, the whole thing opened up that you might have missed while you were up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like all the ice that was in the doorway, like turned to water, melted down, and then refroze on the bottom.
Oh. So there's no hole.
There's no hole, it's just an open gate now.
Onwards and yum.
Yum.
Chunk of the vertebrae that Cordelia broke off. Is it still there?
Yep.
He's gonna take it and just put it in his pocket.
It's the size of your chest.
Oh, okay.
Or you trying to
Wait,
take a small
pocket.
bit of it that like got
Yeah,
chipped
but
off.
just a small bit.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
the part that got chipped off is small enough for you to grab and wander in.
Oh, okay. And then he's gonna ice skate in.
Okay, you all continue on forward. Now, quick question. It has been almost 2 hours. How are people on time?
I am kind of dying. Not gonna lie, you guys.
Oh.
I got a little asthma attack just now.
Oh.
Oh.
We could definitely end here. There's just one more thing I'll show you guys, and then we can end up. Alright. We'll pick up next time. I'm just going to show you what you are entering. Who is first? Just real quick.
And it's gonna be towards the front unless someone's walked in front of him.
I'll pull back for Ken.
Okay, okay.
Like my face is like steeled, like I'm going towards some like unknown destiny.
Alright. And so enter as the passage shrinks and shrinks, and then the light slowly fades as it goes forward. And once again darkens as you see the passage cracks and gives way a bit as you see, for some reason, past that ice door, it doesn't seem everything was, kept sealed and not like properly guarded or like properly maintained. Should be loading, and once after a few minutes just to show you guys where you are, then we'll end it.
It looks pretty.
It is very pretty looking.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Can we zoom out?
I will keep you guys up to here for now.
Okay.
As you guys enter the terracotta tunnels and get a bearing of things, you see a small pool in front of you as a passageway, rocks and vegetation. Work stone still on the walls, but you can even see on the right where the wall seems to have caved in and water is flowing through. And it's interesting, it's weird, you're not sure, but one thing you at least know is Kenya has gone this way, and it seems like the destruction of the monastery was not her only goal. Whatever she was seeking, whatever she was looking for, whatever she's intending to do, lays up ahead. Next time, we'll be entering this dungeon proper.
Oh shoot!
Oh, it's a dungeon. Ooh.
Alright. Good shit, guys.
That was fun.
I'm sorry we had to cut it short,
No,
y'all.
you're good. I was already...
It's supposed to be short, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a short session.
Oh, okay.
It's getting late.
Yeah,
People,
I
I
just wanted
think.
to fit in one since I was busy last Saturday, as well as we can't do next Saturday.
They're getting super interesting.
Yeah, it is. Are we getting Ken's backstory?
I assume so.
Hands are.
Guess we'll find out.
To be fair, if you haven't figured out already, Ken doesn't know a lot of his own backstory either.
He just
So,
feels like he is
I
the
don't
one.
actually know what's going on.
He finds out as he goes, is what
Okay.
happens.
Out of character, I am also finding out as you guys find out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Exciting.
Very cool.
You're always destined for great things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big
Indeed.
destiny ahead of him.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Pulled shit on my ass. That's fun,
Well, we always do that anyway.
right?
That's
I didn't think I'd have to like make
How
up shit on
easy.
the spot, but you know.
That's a D&D,
That's
though.
what D&D is.
Yeah, the dragon thing, I had no idea it was. I was like, okay, so it's either a wyvern or a dragon, and I'm pretty sure Cora's probably faced like a baby dragon or a wyvern in the past.
I'll definitely say probably something smaller on that mercenary hunt.
Yeah. Damn it! Now I need to make another side
Not
story.
an ancient white dragon.
Not an ancient white dragon.
No, everyone's like 50th birthday, right?
Wait a second.
Definitely
It's a
would've
blue
done it.
eyes white dragon.
No.
Damn
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yuki! Oh!
It's time to do.
Next time on Kindred.